Namaste. In India, we address people with this word namaste or namaskar. There is actually nobody pays attention to this word. It's a very beautiful word. Namaste or namaskar is basically we are saying, I bow to the divine within you. So in India, we consider everyone as a divine being. So it is a good word when we address this. People don't pay attention. So I start the lecture with this word namaste. This video is related to Vedic Jyotisa, which is in itself is a very big science. The word Jyotish is actually made up of two words, two particular things. One is Jyoti, other is Ish. So Jyoti means light and Ish means God. So Jyotish in totality means the light of God. So actually, the science of Jyotish is a divine science, and that is why it is being addressed as Jyotish. Now, you must have come across certain things in Vedic astrology which you might have seen, like this the chart which is used in south of India. This is a North Indian chart. So, and there are confusing numbers over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's a very small video, so obviously it's very clear that you cannot understand the whole Vedic Jyotish by this. But there are concepts which are not clear to people, certain basic concepts which will be cleared in this video. Now, in general, you might have come across this thing, which is usually you will come across this kind of thing. You might have seen this thing, or say you might have come across this one also. This is the North Indian chart, and the earlier one which you were looking at is a South Indian chart, and you usually see these numbers written over there. And this is actually the Akashic diagram or the diagram of planets at the time of your birth. Now, how this has been derived is a basic thing which I will explain in this video. In India, in our country, in Vedic astrology, the eastern direction is considered very important because sun rises in the east. Even the Ahoratra, the time from one sunrise to another sunrise, which is called Ahoratra, is important because we consider the 24 hours from the time when the sun shows its light, its divine light is falling on earth. And when it sets down, when it rises again the next day, 24 hours have passed, then we calculate our day according to that method. In Western system, it's very simple that if the sun is down, or say the day completes with 12 and 12 o'clock method. But in our system, the day is actually calculated with the help of sun. So sun is very important for us. In this case also, when we make this Vedic chart which you were looking at earlier, this one, which is very common actually, it is confusing to some people, so let's remove that confusion first. You will see that in these charts, usually there is a number written over here, like say 12 is written, or 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. You can see that numbers are written over here, and then there are planets, like any planet will be written on here. So it creates a lot of confusion that how this number is derived. So we come back to this diagram. This is the same diagram in a circular way, and it is the position of the several rashis, the 12 rashis, and their movement, okay, in a circular way. This is a circle, so obviously it is 360 degree, and if I divide it by 12, it gives us 30 degree each. So this rashi is basically 30 degree, 30 degree, 30 degree. Okay, so this is important, and the movement is upward. This rashi chakra, no matter whether you're born in a morning time or a daytime or an evening time, it keeps on moving like this. Okay, it never stops, keeps on moving. So at a point of time when you are born, there will be a rashi rising in the eastern direction. A particular rashi will be rising in the eastern direction. Because why? Because this chakra is moving. So at the time of sunrise, obviously when the sun is there, there will be a rashi. When the sun goes up also, there will be a rashi. So rashis will be they keep on moving, and it is possible that it is not total 30 degree, but say even if this particular sign is like say 1 degree, and this rashi has from the eastern horizon, from the line of eastern direction, if it has rose even to 1 degree, then this rashi becomes important. This is the seed of our horoscope and is called lagna in North India in Jyotish. This rashi is which is rising in the eastern direction at the point of our birth. Okay, it can be anything, 1 2 3 4. These numbers actually they represent rashi in Vedic astrology. 1 is Aries, 2 is Taurus, 3 is Gemini, 4 is Cancer. So you have to learn these rashis. In Hindi, 1 is Mesha, 2 is Vrishabha, 3 is Gemini or Mithuna, 4 is Karkad, 5th is Leo or Singh. So these rashis you have to learn because they are represented by numbers. So these numbers they keep rising one by one. So any number which is riding at the point of your birth is called your lagna. And in South Indian chart, if we see the South Indian chart, these numbers are fixed. I mean, the rashis are fixed, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what they basically do is, this is nothing. Don't confuse yourself, because this is the Akashic diagram of all the rashis when you were born. So what they will do is, suppose Leo in the previous slide, Cancer is rising over here. You can see that Cancer starts from here and it is till this point, right? So here Cancer is rising. So what they will do in South Indian chart is they will place lagna, they will write LG over here to mark it as lagna. So this is your important rashi. In North Indian chart, what happens? This is the North Indian chart. So they will place in the North Indian chart, what they will do is they will place these numbers over here. Like if Cancer is rising, they will place 4 over here, then 5 over here, then 6 over here, 7 over here. So this is how it works in North Indian chart. Okay, so in the South Indian chart, obviously the whole thing is fixed and they don't change it. These numbers are fixed. The Aries is here, Vrishabh will be here, Taurus will be here, Gemini will be here. It will not change in this chart. In North Indian chart though, we change them. And okay, now in this case when we are talking about it, so like Cancer will be placed over here, and 6, 7, 8, this is placed like this, 4, then 5. I mean any number, I mean it's not 4, it can be anything which is rising in that point of time. So here whatever rashi is rising over here is placed at this. So this is understood as lagna in astrology. And at that very moment when these rashis are rising, there will be a certain planet placed in at a certain point. For example, suppose in this chakra, suppose Saturn is placed in Virgo, okay, in 6th number, and we have Jupiter in say Sagittarius, and we have some other planet somewhere. So there are 9 planets which are placed in these rashis, and the same planets are placed over here. So if our Saturn was in Virgo, we will place it here, and in Sagittarius we will place Jupiter. It's the same configuration which we see in the actual chart, how these planets are placed. And how do we calculate this thing is a different matter. You should understand the base thing, that from when you're watching the earth and a certain 30-degree rashi is there, when you're watching from here, Saturn is placed in between this Virgo sign. So Saturn will go where? In South Indian chart, it will go at this place, and in North Indian chart, it will go to this place, Saturn, and we place Jupiter over here. In the South Indian chart, this particular place is actually, South Indian chart is different from the North Indian chart in many ways, but there is a reason for that thing. This is called the Brahma, the Akasha Tattva, and hence this is not being touched. It is worshipped actually in certain methods of astrology in Jyotish. Like in Prashna, we worship this area, and the rashis are fixed in South Indian chart. In North Indian chart, we call it Kundali. Why? Because this is basically Kundali only. It is the energy, and this energy is defined with this pattern, and that is why we call it Kundali. The sign which is rising in the eastern direction during the time of your birth becomes the ascendant or the lagna. It is placed in the first house of the horoscope. Now, house is a different concept, and you have to learn mentally. You have to learn that this is house number 1, this is house number 2, this is house number 3. Don't confuse, which is the usual confusion is what people do is, if 4, this is house number 4. This is not house number 4, this is rashi 4, the rising ascendant, and based on this all the rashis are placed. This house remains number 1, but this number is not kept written over here because we don't need it. We just remember it visually. Okay, this is house number 1. So this is house number 2, this is house number 3, this is house number 4. In South Indian chart, this is entirely different in the South Indian chart. Why? Because the houses are moving. Here the 1, 2, 3, 4, these becomes the houses. Like it will become 1. In North Indian chart, the rashis are fixed here, but the numbers of the houses, they change according to the rashis. Okay, which is different in our South Indian chart. In North Indian chart, the rashis keep on moving and the houses are stable. South Indian, we have rashis stable, but houses are moving. They keep moving. Like it can be 1, it can 2, it can be 3, 4, 5, 6. So these things have to be understood. This is basic astrology which I have told you. For learning the basic astrology, you should buy a book which is very famous, Learning Astrology Without Tears by Mr. K.N. Rao. It's a very good book. Give you an idea how these planets move, or it will give you a basic idea how we calculate things in Vedic Jyotish. Thank you.